Right, on today's video I'm going to be making sweet and sour chicken Hong Kong style. I'm going to be making this from a recipe I got off the internet some while ago with a few changes, but I'm just going to go through the ingredients here now. So we have some dark soya sauce, some Shoshing rice wine, Chinese rice wine, some cornstarch flour, corn flour, a tube of tomato puree, one red pepper, one green pepper, 2 onions, a tin of pineapple pieces, so already chunked up, but a whole pineapple will be fine as well. You probably don't need the whole tin of that, and some sugar. So that's going to be making up our sauce. I've already marinated the chicken already overnight, so I've cut that into small pieces. Soaked in the Chinese rice wine with a bit of salt and pepper and a little bit of Chinese fire spice as well. So that's been marinating overnight. Please leave that about 3 hours before actually using it, because obviously it allows it to marinate. The longer you marinate, the better. Also, I prepared the rice as well in advance. Again, the longer you prepare the rice, the better. So let it get cold, let it evaporate all the water off and dry out. And then it'll be better for the egg fried rice. So I'll be doing sweet and sour chicken Hong Kong style with egg fried rice. Okay, so I'm going to prepare the ingredients in a bowl. So this will make up the sauce, and then I'll sort out the peppers and the onions a little bit later on. But this is just to get the sauce prepared. So I'm going to start off with 6 tablespoons of sugar. So I'm just going to put that in a bowl for now, just so we can measure out our ingredients. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this will make up enough for 4 people as well, so I do tend to cook quite a lot of this when I'm doing it. So I use 4 chicken breasts, so I do like a lot of sauce with my sweet and sour chicken as well. So that's the sugar. Do 3 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. So it's going to be interesting trying to hold the camera and do this. Put that in a big bowl. Not holding the spoon while I'm doing it, I'm just going to put a little bit more in there just to make up the difference, obviously, because it's not level. Right, there's the soy sauce in the bowl. Right, now I'm going to use the tomato puree, so I need 4 tablespoons of tomato puree. So again, just squeeze it in. That can go straight into the soy sauce. So that's tomato puree and dark soya sauce. That can be mixed together. We'll put the rice wine in there as well in a minute, so that'll make that a little bit less paste looking. Okay, so this is the Chinese cooking rice wine. So we're going to have 2 tablespoons of that. Oops. Spilling it. Again, not easy trying to hold a camera and do this. It smells absolutely lovely, this rice wine. And because the chicken's marinated in this as well, it really does take on a lovely flavour. Okay, in our bowl. So again, we just mix that up. And start seeing more of a sweet and sour sauce looking consistency and colour. Just add more in there. Make up for the bit I spilt. There we go. Okay, now we've got the sauce done. Going to tip the sugar into there as well. Mix in. Put a bit more rice wine in there because that's looking a little bit thicker than it usually does, so let's put a bit more in there. That's fine now, because that's going to stick nicely on the chicken when we eventually recook it, so this will be the last part of the ingredients that goes in. So we can set our sauce to one side for now, and basically we need to then chop up the peppers and the onions just into chunks. The onions need to be sort of more square shaped rather than thinly sliced, but I'll show you that in a minute. So I've chopped up the green and red peppers now, so again it doesn't have to be perfectly shaped or anything like that, so it can be very rustic looking. It's just going to look lovely in the Chinese sauce and be cooked up. So chop it up to whatever sort of size that you would like and whatever your preference is. So it's just the green and red pepper chopped up. Now we're going to chop the onion. We've squared up our onion, so it's just nice chunks of onion there. By the way, with the peppers, don't put any of the seeds in, the capsicum seeds. Take those out when you chop them up. So that's our peppers and onions already prepared to go into the dish later on. So that will go in with our pineapple. The cornstarch flour, I'm going to do that now. So just prepare that in another little bowl ready to go. It's good to get everything prepped up ready, because when you're cooking the chicken, or after you've cooked the chicken and you're putting the sauce in, you'll need all these ingredients to hand. So I do advise sort of setting this up in this way to start with. So I'm going to do the cornstarch flour now. Okay, so for this recipe it's just 2 level spoonfuls of cornstarch flour, corn flour, in a little bowl. Put some water in there, but a very small amount of water. At a time, there's a tablespoonful of water here. That probably will be enough. Not just add it to it. Mix up the cornstarch flour into a paste. Yes, we need some more water in there. So I'll just put another tablespoonful in there now, and we're going to mix this together. The thing with cornstarch flour is it will feel like it's hard, but actually it kind of softens up. As soon as you put any impact on it, it kind of gets very hard. It's a bit of a scientific thing, this, but it will mix and become like a paste, and you add that to your sauce later on during cooking. So I'm just going to give that a stir. For the rice, I'm going to have put some chopped spring onion in it and some peas, which I've just got in the microwave at the moment, just heat through. I'm beating 2 eggs, and I'm going to fry those in the wok in a minute with a little bit of oil, and that'll be added into the rice. But I've also got a normal egg in here, which I'm going to mix in with the rice as well, and that'll help just colour it up a little bit as well. So I'm going to mix, just give that a bit of a whisk. Just like you're making scrambled eggs or an omelette. Like that, that's fine. And then we're going to go over and switch our wok on. You can probably do this in a deep saucepan, but if you can get a wok, it's much better, because we'll be frying our chicken in this wok later on as well. So you'll need either that or a deep fat fryer in order to do the chicken. So we'll just put the oil in, and then we'll just cook the egg up. So while we're just waiting for that to heat up, that oil, what I've done with my rice is I always pour some oil over my rice first while it's cold, and coat the rice with the oil. That helps the rice to not stick to the pan while you're actually frying it off. So obviously if you want to get proper egg fried rice, you have to put this in the wok as well. So obviously that's why a deep wok is really good. There's quite a lot of rice here as well, so I might have to do 2 lots of batches here. But that's what I tend to do. I tend to find it doesn't stick to the bottom as easy by coating it in that oil. It's much better as well. So we've just cooked 2 eggs, like I say, just scrambled it, or like you do normally with an omelette, and just set it aside in one bowl. I'm going to crack another egg now and put that in the bowl of rice, like that. Probably would have been easier if I'd whisked it up first, but should be fine. Mix that in with the rice. So I've already got a bit of oil on the rice already, and I put a bit of oil in the pan as well. Obviously add that to your own preference, put in little as much as you want, but obviously you want to stop the rice from sticking. So that's the egg coated in the rice, and we'll put that in the pan and cook it up. Oh, we've got our rice in our wok now, heating up. We'll keep that stirred, stop it from sticking, keep turning it over, and we'll keep cooking that, and eventually all the water, if there's any left over, like I said, it's better if you've got older rice that's been standing for a few days, and just let the moisture come out. But we're just going to cook this off now and fry this up. So I'm going to put the camera down so I can focus on this, and we'll show you what it looks like in a bit. Now what I didn't do is put some soy sauce and rice wine in the bottom of the pan first. So I'm just going to make a little well, pour some of that in there. Again, that will just help with the flavours and also the coloration of the rice as well. So give that a good slug of rice wine, and we'll start seeing the colour changing too. I just think it adds to the flavour of the rice as well, but you know, it's again down to personal preference for what you want to do. But this seems to work for me. And just add as much or as little as you need to until you get that kind of nice, more of a golden colour to the rice. It will sort of fry off as well and dry up a little bit as you fry it. So we'll keep stirring that. Mix it all in. So I'll get the camera down now. I'd say just fry the rice for about 10 minutes. Keep stirring it. If you do catch it at the bottom, it's not too much of a problem. You've got a few little catches in here, but it adds to the character of the rice, in my opinion. So just keep stirring it. We're going to put the egg in here and also the peas. So we're going to do that now. So we'll put the rest of the egg in there. Again, put as much or a little as egg as you want in there, depending on your own preference. My daughter doesn't like egg too much, so I'm not putting that in there too much. We'll put the egg in there and about half a cup of cooked peas. So these are just petit pois peas. Microwave them for about 4 or 5 minutes on a high heat, and then we're just going to mix them in. Just adds a splash of colour to the rice as well. And then we can put a bit later on, we'll put our spring onions in as well to the mix. Just add something a little bit extra the egg fried rice. So we've got a few bits of egg in there, as you can see. That's why I like sort of cooking the egg up first and then sort of sprinkling it in. Some recipes will tell you just to put it in with the rice, and that doesn't tend to get the same amount of fluffy bits of egg in there, in my opinion. But I do like to crack an egg in with the rice before cooking it. Keep stirring that. Right to the bottom of the pan as well, to the wok. Just keep that stirring. I do the rice first because the rice can be put to one side, and even if it cools down a little bit, just putting it in the microwave, you know, for 5 minutes or 4 minutes will be enough. Again, just heat it through. If you ever had Chinese takeaways, which I'm sure you have, then you know it always tastes nice the next day anyway when you reheat rice and sweet and sour chicken, and this is no different. So just by microwaving it for a few minutes, depending on how much you cook, obviously, it turns out really nicely. I'm going to put the camera down now and just keep an eye on this, stop it burning. I'm going to prepare the chicken. So I've beaten 1 egg, which will be used to coat. I've filled a wok full of oil, which will be used for cooking. So it needs to be deep enough, obviously, to submerge some of the chicken and obviously cook it, and then you'll be turning that over. And I've got a second pan here, or plate, with a bit of kitchen towel in here. That's what I'll be putting the chicken on once it's been cooked the first time. Let the oil drain off, and then it'll go through a second cooking process. Again, just to refry it all, and it adds to the extra colour and flavour of the chicken. So all this chicken is just chicken breast, skinned. It's been chopped up into squares. Again, you can chop it to any size you want, whatever your preference. It's been coated with some Chinese spice, bit of salt, bit of pepper, bit of cracked pepper, and soaked overnight in Chinese rice wine. So that's been in there in the fridge, soaking away. So I'm going to pour the juice off that's left in there at the moment, and then I'll coat the chicken with the egg and put it in the flour. Chicken's just been drained off. Just going to pour the egg over the top. And we'll coat all the chicken pieces with the egg. Making sure you wash your hands, obviously, when you do all these things, especially when you're dealing with raw chicken. Make sure they're all clean. So that's all coating on the egg now. And then that'll help the flour to stick. So what I've got here is a plate of plain flour. So I'll be dipping the chicken in that, putting it to one side, and then obviously be able to fry that off and make it all nice and crispy. I'm just going to take this bit of chicken, wrap it in the flour, coat it, and we'll do that for all the bits of chicken. Just cover it with flour. Your hands are going to get a bit messy on this, so as you can see, I'm going to continue with this until it's all done, and then I'll come back with the camera in a bit. Alright, we have our chicken done now, which is just coated in flour, and we've got our oil going. So we're just going to put a wooden chopstick in the water, or a wooden spoon will be fine. If the bubble's coming off there like it is now, then it's hot enough to cook. That's the way I test it. So again, got another dish over there that's going to take my chicken. I've also got a slotted spoon, a slotted metal spoon, which will help me get the chicken in and out of the wok as I cook it. So I'm going to put the first bit in now. I'm just going to put that in like that. So we put those in together, and it all starts cooking up. It's difficult to do with this holding camera, so I'm going to let the camera go. So this is the first batch of chicken cooked for the first time. So this will go through 2 cooks in the wok. This was flash fried for probably 30 to 45 seconds no more than a minute certainly. You start getting a bit of a colour to it, but it's just crisp the outside of it and seal the juices in. The second cook will be what actually makes it nice and brown, and also cooks it right the way through. So here's our chicken after it's been twice cooked. Nice and brown, still moist though, you can still feel the plumpness of the chicken. Really nice. So this is all going to go into the sauce and be cooked through again with all the sauce wrapped around it. So I'll just put the rice that I cooked earlier into the microwave for about 5-6 minutes. So as that's cooking up, I'm going to now start cooking the peppers up. Put a little bit of oil in our wok. So we cleaned our wok out because it does get a bit grubby, and that's the dirty oil from the chicken. So I'll just put that to one side. If you do pour out hot oil, make sure you put it in a Pyrex dish, so because it's very, very hot. Best to let it cool down if you possibly can. So I'll put a little bit of oil in a pan here now. I'm now going to put the peppers and onions and just fry them off very quickly, just to start turning their colour. So we'll pop those into the pan, and we'll start to turn those over now. Spoon. Frying off a little bit, and I will start putting the sauce in, so that will start cooking as well, and I'll coat all the onions and peppers. There goes the sauce. I'm going to give that a good stir now. So we just put the sauce in, just turn the wok down a little bit so it's not as violent. You just want this sauce now just to heat through, and the peppers and onions to heat through as well. We're probably done with a bit more sauce in here, I think, to be honest, with the amount of chicken we've got. So right, now I'm going to put the cornstarch paste in here as well. So this will make the colour change, but also thicken up the sauce. I'm going to put that down because I need my hands for this. So put the cornstarch in there now, cornstarch flour. We'll just stir it through, and you can see now it's starting to change to a lighter colour, and it'll also start thickening up. So now we've got that in there, we'll now pour the chicken in there and start coating that chicken in that lovely sauce, and that will give our sweet and sour Hong Kong style chicken. And then it can just cook for a while in the pan on a low heat, just to keep it warm through. So you can prepare this in advance, or we also need to put our pineapple in as well, but you can cook all this, the chicken, in advance as well. So if you are doing this for the evening, I suggest you put away a couple of hours of the day just to get the chicken and everything prepped, and then you can just pour it in the pan when you're having your party or your dinner. Yeah, I could definitely done with some more sauce, I think. Okay, well that's not a problem. So we'll cover all that chicken now. Chicken, and we're just going to put some pineapple and a little bit of pineapple juice in there as well. So again, put as much or as little as you like in. And again, just stir that through.